What is good, guys? Matt from Duality Gaming here, giving you another video. I just want to talk about VR because apparently that's the only thing I ever get to talk about because it's just interesting and the news is all about VR right now because people say VR is the future. Anyway, the developer of DayZ basically came out and said that VR is like a very expensive Wii, which I found very entertaining, and again, it goes into my opinion of it just being a novelty, being kind of a fad, and being kind of it's not going to be here in 5 years. But there you go. I get more examples every day of VR being more and more useless, but people just continuously think otherwise because they spend their money into it and they want to defend that plastic they bought. Because let's be honest here, you're going to defend anything you spend $800 on, aren't you? Like the Mac. Anyway, basically, he says in reality, I see this as a very expensive Wii. I think that's to do with the controllers. They're waving they look like cocks, essentially. They look like penises you got to fucking hold. And then he goes, the Wii was very successful because it offered a simple, fun approach experience at a low cost. Now, does VR offer a simple, fun approach at a low cost? No, it does not. Anyone that thinks that either is fucking wealthy or fucking brain damaged. Let's run this down. You have to have a high-end PC, unless you have a PSVR. If you don't have a high-end PC, I think you need a 970 or a 980. That's quite a lot of money in itself. You need to actually buy the fucking thing, which is, by the way, is very expensive. You've got to clear room in the motherfucking thing to actually deal with it. You can't just have it in your room. There you go. You've got to actually clear space for it. This is a thing that's more intrusive than a baby at times. And fourth of all, you lose perception because people as the last video I talked about, people actually forget there are things there. They mix up reality and virtual reality. Now let's talk about some other things that he made. Basically, he said overall, my greatest concern has been, can we make a VR game that makes people will play longer than 20 minutes? That again goes into my novelty. I don't know, this is my opinion, but if you're wearing that thing in your head, you got to fucking stand up. You're going to get fatigued really fucking quick. I know, I'm not the fittest guy, but I'm nowhere near fat. But I would not want to just fucking stand in my room waving my head about and waving my arms about like a fucking dick. I don't know, that's just me. I wouldn't enjoy that. I wouldn't find that fun. I play games to fucking sit down and play with a controller. If I wanted to move around, I'd either go to the gym or join a rugby team again, you know what I mean? Why the fuck would I want to go stand up in my living room to play a game? I feel one of the reasons Kinect failed as well. I know you could sit down with Kinect, but for the most part you had to stand up. And if this ever tried to appeal for a casual market like mums and dads, listen, let's go off the average that most mums and dads are over 30. 30-year-olds don't want to fucking stand up for that long. Hell, I'm fucking 20, I don't want to stand up for over 20 minutes, to be completely honest with you. So why the hell would this appeal to anyone else? That's what I'm trying to talk about. And now he goes into other things, I feel, what's the word? I don't ever say VR is bad. I never say VR is bad. I think it's just it's taking out of proportion. It's a very niche thing. That's what I think it is. I don't ever say that I think it's horrible and it's gonna, it's just not gonna give a good user experience. I just think it's kind of a waste of time, really, because of the price, just everything to do with it. And obviously, as we move on in the future, if this still sustains and whatnot, and it things get cheaper, maybe my opinion will change because I'm allowed to change my opinion. But right now, as it stands, no. And there are certain things in this article I would like to also mention that kind of confuse me, and I don't know why he bothered talking about it, but there you go. He says Oculus Rift, he also said Oculus Rift and HTC Vive as being in similar nature kind of way PlayStation and Xbox consoles are. I don't really get what that means, because the thing is, with the Vive, it even says that it focuses more on positional tracking, so kind of you're standing in your room. And the Rift, being probably the most well-known VR headset, because it's been around for fucking ages, is also known. And then it just goes on to talk about, they're amazing devices, they don't make you sick, and they're a sample game that are a lot of fun. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to understand is really the people that buy this and whatnot, just the market for it. I've known people who have expressed wanting to do it, but again, that was like 1 or 2 people commenting on my video saying they want it. It's not the greatest thing. And by the way, just to add, the Rift comes out in March, finally. The Vive comes out in April, and the PlayStation 4 VR is due out in October, I believe. I get what he means by the expensive Wii, really, because it does feel like that. It does feel like you gotta wave your arms around. It's kind of those casual market games, and there aren't really any VR games at the moment I could see that would just be like, yes, that is what's it? You can play it for more than 20 minutes. I think the PS4 VR with the whole you can play whatever game on your headset or whatever, and you can probably use your controller. I feel that would be a good way, you know, a very immersive experience. But to actually have design games around it, I feel we'd be going down the Wii path. The only thing is, it'd be a very expensive Wii path, and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, this is not the first time a developer has actually talked about concern about making games last more than 20 minutes for the VR, you know, making them more immersive for the gamer. Because, as he says in this article, which I will link, with console games and PC games that aren't VR, you know, just kind of like Tomb Raider, Call of Duty, or FIFA, your fucking Dying Light, your Last of Us, your GTA, all those, and so on and so forth. I'm just naming games that are around me right now. You can play those for hours. You can't do that with VR right now, and I feel that's one of the concerns of developers. And if that hurdle doesn't get taken over, like jumped over, essentially, we'll just be stuck at this being a novelty, and essentially just kind of where the Virtual Boy is and where 3D is in the past. Now, I'm not saying VR will end up like that. It's just that can be a possibility. I don't like VR myself. I feel it's a waste of time. It's not appealed to me yet. People have said I should try it first. I don't really want to, because obviously I'm not going to fucking buy it. I'm a student. I'm not going to spend $800 or £629 or whatever it is on that to just have an experience for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? There are prostitutes that are cheaper. Anyway, tell me what you think down below. Like the video if you like to, dislike it if, you know, you don't like my videos or you just don't like my opinion on VR. I'm not really too bothered. Subscribe to the channel for all the latest and the greatest. Check out the Facebook and check out the Instagram. And ultimately, guys, as I always say, have a nice day.